Hi everyone, today we'll take a look at the best streaming devices in the market for 2021. I made this list based on my personal opinion and I'll try to help you find the right one for your needs. To see the most up-to-date prices and find out more information about these streaming devices, you can check out the links in the description below. Before we start, I have a question for you guys. Which streaming device are you using right now and what is your opinion on it? Let me know in the comments. Number 5. Roku Express. Best budget option. The Roku Express may not be the most powerful or fastest player on the market, but it's built on a rock-solid egalitarian platform that offers both a truly universal search feature and a ton of free content. Like the Roku streaming stick, the Roku Express is powered via its micro USB port. Roku ships the Express with a micro USB to USB cable which can be plugged directly into your TV if your TV has a USB port on it, and a wall adapter if the first option doesn't work. Roku has done an excellent job optimizing its streaming software for cheap hardware, so you'll seldom need to deal with choppy scrolling or excessive load times. The only downside, as with all Rokus, is that there's no fast way to switch between recent apps. Despite using something less powerful than, say, the NVIDIA Shield's Tegra X1 ARM-based processor, which has a memory clock of 1600 MHz, the Roku Express does just fine. That's because the OS on top of the player is less power-hungry than Android TV and its ilk, and therefore allows the Roku Express to zip along fairly well, especially on good connections. It should be fine if you're not putting a lot of other demand on your Wi-Fi network, or if you don't have a lot of neighbours with their own networks in close proximity. Besides being one of the easiest to use products on the market, the Roku Express is also the absolute cheapest and has done so without cutting many corners. Number 4. NVIDIA Shield TV Pro. Best for gamers. Media streamers come in all shapes and sizes these days, but none are as formidable as the new NVIDIA Shield TV Pro. NVIDIA's latest premium Android TV box is a monster of a 4K media hub, with beefier internals than previous models and added support for Dolby Vision. As well as being a powerful media streamer with 4K HDR10 and Dolby Vision support, the Shield TV Pro doubles as a Plex media server, allowing you to organize and access your personal media library and stream that content wherever you go. On top of all that, the Shield TV Pro is also a formidable gaming hub that can stream AAA game titles and run practically any retro emulator going. The NVIDIA Shield TV Pro is a tiny little thing given the power it packs. Shaped like a slim wedge with some angular indentations carved into it for posterity, it's about the size of 2 Kindle e-readers stacked on top of each other. It offers rows of content based on your installed apps. If one thing sets the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro apart from other streaming boxes, it's the built-in GeForce Now service. The NVIDIA Shield TV is a no-brainer for Netflix bingers or gamers alike. It's better, cheaper, more powerful and easier to use, and brings impressive new features and even more support for the best streaming content available. Number 3. Apple TV 4K. The most convenient. The gateway to on-demand 4K HDR movies you've been waiting for, now with extra apps and features. The Apple TV 4K looks almost identical to the previous Apple TV, but flip the little black box over and you'll notice a ring of small cutouts on the 4K model that weren't present on its predecessor. These allow cool air to get to the more powerful A10X chip. It gets warm to the touch while in action, but it's extremely quiet, even when playing a game or streaming 4K content. The device detects if your TV supports 4K resolution and adjusts its output accordingly. It also tests for HDR support, sending an HDR signal to the TV. If you can receive it, everything the Apple TV 4K sends to your TV from this point will be in 4K. Following a post-launch software update, the device no longer upconverts standard dynamic range to HDR, and it'll now match the native frame rate of your content. Both are big improvements and well worth activating in the settings. Yes, it's pricey, but it's slick, works well with an iPad or iPhone or even a pair of AirPods, and the range of content is good enough right now. Number 2. Google Chromecast. Best runner-up. The world of dongle video streamers is fiercely competitive. Prices are low and app offerings high, but there's more than just money and streaming services to separate them. The new Chromecast with Google TV doesn't add any major services that its predecessors didn't already have. It isn't any cheaper either, but for this latest version, Google has prioritized usability and performance instead. The Chromecast with Google TV is an evolution of the Chromecast Ultra that it replaces. The disc-shaped casework has been flattened out into a more oval shape and is now available in a choice of snow white, sunrise pink or sky blue, with matching coloured remote. You're likely to use this more than the device itself, which will probably be hanging from an HDMI port in the back of your TV. The new remote control is tactile and well thought out. You can teach it to control the power and volume on your TV and use it as the microphone for the Google Assistant voice searches on Google TV. As expected, the voice recognition is near flawless and a decent way of getting to what you want and quickly. To get streams in their maximum resolution and high-end formats, we recommend using the remote to use Chromecast's native Google TV app, as that's where you're most likely to find it. We've always felt Chromecast was easy to use, but now that it has a remote, even non-techies can enjoy Google's affordable, fast streaming service. Number 1. Roku Streaming Stick Plus. Best overall. While the Roku Streaming Stick Plus has better range than its predecessors and the power to process 4K HDR video, a few niggling issues like slow pop-in time on the home screen and lack of Dolby support keep it from reaching its full potential. Roku streaming sticks have always been deceptively simple devices, but the new Roku Streaming Stick Plus takes that design philosophy to a new level. It's just as petite as its predecessors, but stuffs even more power into the flash drive-sized form factor. Despite the additional hardware, however, it will still neatly fit behind your TV and draw power from either your TV's USB port or from the wall. The Roku platform boasts more than 5,000 apps, ranging from TV and movies to music to fitness to shopping to games. But most of the apps are, charitably speaking, too niche to be worth your time. Content stabilized at 1080p within 5 seconds or so on a standard home Wi-Fi network, while reaching 4K resolutions on an office Wi-Fi network took about 10 to 15 seconds. Again, this may or may not be representative of what the Roku could do in your home, but if your connection is up to the task of delivering 4K HDR content, so is the Streaming Stick Plus. By squeezing 4K HDR streaming hardware into a device the size of a USB stick, Roku has made a svelte, small, powerful and affordable streaming device. Buying Guide. Output Resolution. While Android TV boxes can be very affordable, not all of them offer high-resolution output via HDMI. Some of the older models and cheaper ones can only output 720p, so you get less resolution and you won't be able to enjoy the high-quality media you get with better devices. The majority of boxes you can find on the market, however, offer either 1080p or 4K output via HDMI. The latter is suitable if you have an LCD TV that supports 4K, since you'll be able to maximize the screen's capabilities with a 4K Android TV box. Apps. All the streaming devices we test can access apps, but you need to make sure the device you choose is the apps you use most. The majority of the popular ones, such as BBC iPlayer and Netflix, are ubiquitous, but if you want access to something more unusual, then check it's available before you buy. Performance. Android TV boxes are very similar to Android phones. They rely on ARM Cortex processors for processing power. Popular boxes such as the Droid Box T8S and eBox Q-Box use an octa-core processor made by Amlogic, albeit with different clock speeds. The processor is then paired with 2GB or more of RAM. This is the standard configuration that'll deliver a smooth and fluid user experience. The best Android TV boxes, however, rely on an octa-core processor, and some of them even come with bigger RAM and internal storage of up to 128GB. A faster processor and bigger RAM translate to better multitasking and media playback performance in general.